so I'm leaving the house in Riddles here. And oh, if you're curious, like about, I don't know if I showed this before, but you remember these toilets, you know, that are, you know, by the front desk and right there, and toilets, why? Yeah, they function. Like, a little water came out, they're plumbed. Rock on, brother. So anyway, getting out of here, hopefully before it starts raining. It looks like it might, no, it's clear as a bell. I'm all good. It looked a little cloudy. And getting out of here, headed to Wakkanai today. And Wakkanai is the northernmost part of Japan. So I went to the easternmost part of Japan recently, and now I gotta go to the northernmost part, I figured, yeah. So as usual, I'm in a kind of a large city, so I'm a long way away from the highway, so I can somehow get back to the highway, which is always the hardest part. Shouldn't be a big deal though, I'll make it. Leaving a little late because I had to do a bit of YouTube stuff. I made the first part of this video series live on YouTube a couple minutes ago, so there's people watching it right now. And it's probably the only time, I don't get nervous about this stuff at all. Like, I'm never worried about, you know, oh, is it gonna go over well or whatever. I just post a video and go on with life. But this time, no Katie, I have to admit, I'm a little worried. So I hope that this series has been at least reasonably entertaining and hasn't been a complete disaster. And the one last thing I want to mention. So when I had arrived, I had explained to this to the Winchester Mystery House here. When I had arrived, I explained that I had met a Japanese guy that was also staying there, and turns out he's just a Chinese guy who speaks really good Japanese. But I mean, you know, you walk into, you're in Japan, you walk into a room, you speak Japanese to somebody, they speak back very well. Like, you're not gonna question their ethnicity, you know what I mean? But after a while, we started talking, and I was like, there's just little clues I'm getting, you know what I mean? And then we were talking last night. It's like, okay, this makes a lot more sense that you're from China. But he was a really cool guy, and I actually didn't get a chance to get his name or his contact information, which is a shame because he lives in Tokyo, and I would probably hang out with that guy, totally hang out with that guy. So, guy, if you're watching this, because I think I gave you my YouTube channel, if you're watching this, send me a message. All right, it's been like an hour and some change. I'm still working on getting to the highway. It's just a nightmare getting out of cities. What do you write on your sign? Like, you can't just write highway because there's like a zillion different exits and entrances and stuff. In this case, this town's pretty small. There's only a few. But it's still like, people don't tend to know the names of the exits and entrances, even though they have names. So I just look at things along the route and I write that, and then I get there and then I make another jump, and then I make another jump, so I'm making another jump. So I just rode with a couple of really nice ladies. They were super, super friendly when they talked to me, but when they talked to each other, they were like bickering like with each other. It sounded like an old married couple, but maybe they were sisters or something. That would make a whole lot of sense. But they were just like talking about how, no, turn this way, no, go that way, no, this. It's a bit exciting. So I've made it like halfway to the entrance to the highway system that I want to get to. So I've got one more jump to make, and I'm gonna see what I don't know what to write on my sign. Like, I guess I'm close enough to the highway now. If I wrote highway on it, that it would be logical that like go to this way. Go to the one that's closest to us. So hopefully I'm on like a road that's a straight shot there. So that's what I'm gonna try. But just even getting to this road that was a straight shot is like kind of like climbing a mountain sometimes. But anyway, yeah, getting out of cities is terrible, but every other part of this thing is, this expedition that I've been on has been pretty simple. Well, I left my sign in that car, so it doesn't matter what I gotta write on it. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I guess I'm gonna have to resort to the thumb. Keep an eye open for a piece of cardboard, maybe. There's worse walks to have. Sweet park golf. I love it. What? Why? I'm really not that upset that I lost my sign. It was getting really nasty. I've been going into 100 yen shops every time I see them looking for another one of those signs, and they don't exist. I've asked like employees, like, look, I made one of these things. And they're always like, what is it? It was like a whiteboard, right? The material, and you can pull off the back and it becomes sticky, and you can stick it to things, so you can make whiteboards out of whatever. I just didn't peel off the back, and it was amazing because I could just erase and then write again. So I can't find another one. It's not a big deal. I bought a notebook, and I'll just open it like this, and then write in that. I mean, big marker or whatever. And even if it's like every 10 pages I can only use because the marker seeps through a whole bunch, like it's not a big deal. That'll probably even get me all the way back to Tokyo. So yeah, I got one of these at 7-Eleven along with a salad that I got for lunch. I'm pretty close to the highway now, I think, so I hopefully will get a ride pretty soon that'll get me actually moving. But again, it's late already. It's like almost noon, if not past noon. So I've got almost 270 kilometers that I want to do today, so I don't know if it's going to happen. It may not. I could have gotten out the door earlier today. Part of it is my fault, and I mean, it's not all of it's my fault. I mean, I'm responsible for the whole situation, but I could have got out the door earlier. And then, of course, it's getting out of these cities, man. It's getting out of the city. It's brutal. This is a public bulletin board that is next to a koban, which is like a little police station. These things are all over Japan, and these public bulletin boards are pretty common as well. And they'll put things like, you know, don't be a criminal or wanted posters and stuff will be in here. But in this particular case, what I found interesting was this is a notice for Pokemon trainers. And it's just, you know, things you should be careful of or whatever, like check the weather and like don't give your name out to people or whatever, and watch out for criminals, etc., etc. It's funny that that game is that popular. Or, well, it was. I've noticed I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed. Can you notice something you haven't noticed? I've noticed that I haven't seen so many people playing, at least up here. Maybe it's just not as popular in Hokkaido. Maybe in Tokyo it's still bumping, but something tells me that the lasting appeal of that game probably was somewhat limited. Finally, I made it. And if you can tell by the surrounding area, we're nowhere near a city anymore, that's for sure. It's almost like 8 or 9 kilometers outside of where the city is that you get to the highway, which, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, if you have a car, you don't need quick access to the highway. So, I mean, why build the highway through the city? I mean, it makes sense. It's just, for my specific odd purposes, it's inconvenient. Come on, Japan. Well, I'm about 50 clicks up the road here. I'm at a Michinoaki, so a rest area thingy, and it is, it's interesting because the toll road has ended, the highway has ended. So now it's just like regular roads all the way up to Wakkanai, which is still like another, I don't know, 180 kilometers or something. My math probably doesn't add up, but it's a ways. So it's like going through towns and stuff like that. So I think my rate of travel is going to slow down a little bit, but that's okay. It seems like there's a pretty steady stream of cars, so I'm not too concerned. The people that picked me up were really nice, like awesome people. The woman was a writer and the man did like professional photography, and they go around the world and stuff and do work with. I didn't quite understand. I think for magazines, but maybe for something else. I didn't quite follow what they write for, but they were really like hip, cool people, and they got me down the road a little ways. And now I'm at a place where I don't think it'll be too hard to catch another ride heading further north. Man, I grabbed a bottle of water earlier from a 7-Eleven, and I was like, hey, it's the cheapest bottle of water here, I'm gonna get it. And I just busted into this bottle of water. Sometimes you gotta read more than just like the giant kanji that says water, because this one specifically has got kalpis in it. And it's not bad, it's just like I wanted some like a refreshing hit of water, and I got a interesting shot of watery milk. Honestly, in the end, it just ends up tasting kind of like a flavorless Gatorade, I guess. It's not bad, why? It's unbelievable that I'm in like remote Japan right now, hitchhiking across the country. I posted a video this morning, and I'm taking a little break before I might find my next ride. There's free Wi-Fi here, so I'm like able to just sit here and answer some questions like from a little device in my hand. What? Technology is unbelievable. The world is fascinating. I don't think I've got time to enjoy this right now, but that's about the best idea I've ever seen in my life. Oh, that's ice cream, like soft serve ice cream. Just hopped the ride with a dude up to the, I guess there is a highway up here. So I'm in the highway-ish area. I guess it ends and then starts again. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm near a highway, and this sign behind me says where I want to go. So that's a good sign. Like, it's literally a good sign, like literally a good sign. And the dude that I rode with was really excited to talk to me because he's going to Hawaii tomorrow for the first time. And he was like, oh, I'm going to Hawaii, like super stoked that I was an American and stuff. It was a fun 5-minute car ride. I've explained in the past that there's a lot of people doing like motorcycle and bicycle treks around Hokkaido, and whenever you see a motorcycle dude here and he sees me like, you know, hitching, he can't give me a ride. I don't have a helmet, and like also he usually has a bunch of bags and stuff, so whatever. But they 100% of the time, every time, wave. I'm starting to love these guys. I made another 50 kilometers or so. Drove up a pretty beautiful road overlooking all these farms and everything. And it was one of my favorite rides so far. It was with this this dude probably in his, I would say, mid-50s or something like that. And he is a, he builds roads for a living. Like, he's a construction dude. And we were rolling down this road and he was like, so, I built this road. I was like, really? That's amazing. And he was telling me about how he was in a motorcycle accident. Like, he was on the back of his motorcycle with his brother, I think, and they crashed. And it's Tuesday. he said everybody was okay. Anyway, it's Tuesday, and I'm jumping around here. It's Tuesday, and he was not working. And I was like, why aren't you working? And he was like, oh, because of the rain. So guess what? It's raining. It's like the theme here. You know what else happened? We stopped at a Michinoeki, and I bought some tea, and I bought him a tea. And he immediately was like, hey, have you ever had this, I can't remember the word right now, I don't remember the word. It's corn. So it's like corn on the cob that they boil. And he bought me some of this stuff, and oh my god, it was really good. Hokkaido's vegetables, man, are on fleek. It's like amazing stuff. And I just realized, so I'm like in the middle of nowhere. There's a little town here, there's a train station, but there's not much else. And I don't know, I don't really want to go stand out in the rain waiting for a ride, so I'm going to try to hang out, and I'm in another Michinoeki now. I'm going to try to hang out here, and hopefully the rain will calm down. But I'm not going to starve to death, because this vending machine here, in addition to drinks, bam, we got calorie mates, Phil. Alright, it's about 4 o'clock. And I've still got about 117 Ks. Not 100% certain that I'm gonna make it today. There's basically nothing between here and there. So, and there's nothing here, so I may as well keep going. So, I don't know. I got a sleeping bag. Just checked to make sure I still had a sleeping bag. I'm really forgetful. I've lost so many little things. The wallet was serious, everything else has been trivial, but like I keep like just putting things down and I'm being like, damn it, where'd it go? Two more things that happened with the with the construction dude. One, we were getting out of his truck at the Michinoeki, and he just left it on, and like I turned around to like, I wasn't gonna get my bag, I just turned around to like get my wallet, and he thought I was gonna hold my bag, and like he was like, there's no bad people here, don't worry about your bag. I was like, yeah, you're right, there's no bad people here. Exactly, it's amazing here. And the second thing was, I asked him if he'd ever been to Wakkanai, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, what'd you think of Wakkanai? This is where I'm headed, by the way, if you've forgotten. I was like, what'd you think of Wakkanai? And he was like, it's windy. And man, it's been windy for like 3 days now. So if he says that Wakkanai is windy, I'm a little worried it's gonna be turbo windy. And oh, look at that. I hope that shows up. That's a rainbow. I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what just happened to me. Wind, y'all. Let's see if it'll fix it. Yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I'm happy to be here right now. Chucked another 20 kilometers or so with another construction dude. I think he was a construction dude. The way he was dressed, I don't know. Whoa, it's windy. It blew my bag over. Oh my god. Let's see if I can find a place where it's not going to be brutal. Oh, good lord. All right, the camera is like hiding in a corner now. Hopefully that'll help with the wind. It's really windy. We were in a van. It was like blowing his van around and stuff. I feel like some sort of like apocalypse is chasing me down the street right now. Again, I'm still quite a ways away. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. There's not very many cars. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna be boned here if I don't find a ride. So less videos, more go. If I don't make it, at least my consolation prize has been all these amazing rainbows. Like, it was a rainbow, but it also feels like it might be a rainbow of death. All right, 6:30, I'm in Wakkanai. So I stood out on the side of the road, and it was like getting to the point of so windy that I was getting worried about my safety, like just from the wind. Like I was having trouble standing, like it was blowing so hard where I was at. And it wasn't raining, but it was just like clouds were just being destroyed by the wind and the mist was blowing all over you, and it was just a really laughably intense moment. Like, I just couldn't stop laughing at how ridiculous it was. And like, the sign I was holding, I wouldn't even use my hands. I just put my hands down and so much wind was blowing against me, the sign would just stay on my chest. So anyway, it was intense, and I was getting worried. Like, I was looking at this phone booth that was behind me. It looked like one of these phone booths. I was looking at this phone booth, like, I was like, that might be where I'm sleeping tonight. Because I was getting to the point where I was about to go in, because it was just like, I was worried a tree was gonna come and like knock me in the head or something. Like, just a car or some cow or something flying by was just gonna like obliterate me. So anyway, at the last moment before I decided to give up, this couple picked me up. And they were like, where are you going? And my sign just says, like, at this point it's like northbound basically. And they were like, where are you going? I was like, Wakkanai. And they're like, oh, we're going to Wakkanai. I was like, sweet. So they drove me all the way to Wakkanai, and now I'm in Wakkanai. And we didn't talk a whole lot, just a little bit. We had joked around a little bit, but the two of them chatted a bunch, and it seems like they basically are very much in love with each other. And they were in like mid-50s or something like that. And it was really a very adorable car ride, and I just got to kind of chill and like enjoy the enjoyment that they were having with each other, and it was very nice. Alright, so now I'm in Wakkanai, and I know nothing about this place. I have no idea where a hotel is. I have no idea where to find Wi-Fi, and it looks like a storm is coming. All the birds are freaking out, and I think that storm that's been chasing me is catching up. So, yeah, thus is life. Remember, we're in the super countryside right now. Like, this is remote, man. It's a decent sized town, but there's nothing around here for a long way. And a train is about to go by, and I'm interested to see how many cars. Is it just gonna be one? I think that might be a possibility. Oh man, that's more than I thought. There's 3 cars on that train. Alright, so I found a place, and it's crazy. Like, it's not crazy to anybody but me because of what I just went through talking to this lady. The lady that runs the place is really, really rough. Like, I almost want to say like what you would expect from, like, you know, a stereotypical like angry New Yorker. Like, you know, if you like stereotype that in your head, or like, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain this personality, but she speaks in really impolite Japanese. Like, she hands me the key, but she's like, you can tell she's a nice person. Like, there's just something warm about her, which is kind of how you feel. I feel the same way about like that stereotypical New Yorker personality, where they aren't mean people, they're just like abrasive. They don't got time for shit. And this is what this lady's got. So I was like, I came in and I was like, you know, really politely, like, oh, do you have a room? And she's just like barking at me, basically, like, yes. And I was like, how much is it? And she barks it at me. And I was like, and her pronunciation is, I'm not used to whatever pronunciation she's using. So I was like, wait, say that again, like numbers. You want to make sure you get your numbers right. Because like, was that 13,000 or was that 3,000? Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. I just want to make sure I said it. And she just like gets kind of in my face and says it to me, like, it's just like, what is this lady doing? Like, but the price is okay. It's like 36 bucks or something like that, which is a little expensive, but it's a nice place. I have a room to myself. I'm happy about that. And then I think I'll stay here one night, and then I'll see if I can find something else tomorrow. I looked on like Airbnb and stuff, and there's like nothing there. I don't even think there's anybody that hosts Airbnb up here. So that limits me down a little bit. And I looked at booking.com, and booking.com stuff is really expensive, like hundreds of dollars a night. So I'll just do what I can. It's dark out. I mean, I'm going to wander around in the storm, like looking for a place. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, I'll stay here. But yeah, she hands me the key, and she's just like, she hands me the key, and she was like, I gotta deal with other people. She doesn't use, like, when they talk about customers in Japanese, they use like the word like, I have to help the other customers. Like, so she's like, I have to help those people. It's just like, she hands me the key, and she was like, go there. I was like, whoa, dude. But she came up here, and then she like made my bed and stuff. Turned on the TV, plugged it in, got me a towel, like all that stuff got done. Like, You know what I mean? But just like with this edge of terror. Kind of like it. And this is what's going on south of here right now. This says typhoon. And it's like they've got like a guy with like every once in a while the reporter shows up and he's got like one of those hats that construction workers wear, and yeah, you can see all of that's not good. So that's in oh, here we go. That gives you a better idea. So I'm up here right now, and yeah. So this is happening in Aomori and Hachinohe. I think that's Hachinohe, yeah. I was there about a week ago, or well, no, but shoot, almost a month ago now, right? So yeah, that looks like it's coming in this way. Awesome. Surprise, surprise, it's gonna rain. So this place feels like a normal like ryokan, tatami rooms, and you have a bathroom is shared and everything. And let me show you the bathroom really quick because there's nobody up here, so I thought I'd do that. So you come in this little area and there's a sink. You put your slippers on to go in the bathroom. They never fit me. And turn on the light, that's this little area. And this is the urinals. And this is the ladies' toilet and the men's toilet. So you could be as a man standing here draining your lizard, and a woman would come in that door and then go in there. Or alternately, I guess you could be a woman and the man could be standing here draining his lizard, and you could go, you know, there. Usually not a mixed thing. And I'll show you something else I just found. This place is nuts. Okay, that's great. It's like surprises around every corner. I feel like in like Honshu, I'm used to everything, but this place is just full of like, whoa, can't believe that's happening. So there's this like rack. So my room is here, yeah. And there's this rack of like magazines and stuff and whatnot. And yeah, there's lady magazines. Hope that didn't just create an awkward situation for anybody like watching this with your mom or whatever. My bad. Yeah, so like, you know. I had to, I wanted to know if there was Wi-Fi, so I had to interrupt the lady while she was eating her dinner to ask her if there was Wi-Fi. I thought she was gonna kill me. But I found that I'm using superbly, like, I'm using the most polite Japanese I can with this lady. I'm gonna try to win her over. That's my goal. So now I'm gonna go wander around the dark and see if I can find Wi-Fi for a moment and just let Katie know I'm alive, and then also maybe food. This is a nationwide izakaya, so it's like a bar with food and stuff. Like usually like your image of this place is salarymen going there and getting toasted with their coworkers, or maybe people on dates, or when Katie and I first moved to Japan, we would go to this specific chain actually, because at the time like we could understand the menu and everything, so we're like, oh, this is great. And we would go here and we would do nomi hodais, which is like an all-you-can-drink thing for 200 yen. We have a video about it, I think. So anyway, drinking, adult stuffs. However, this one says it has a kids room. I've never seen that at one of these before. Maybe that's common outside of Tokyo, I don't know. It says it's like a kid's room with karaoke or whatever, but like, I guess you could come here, dump the kids off in the kids room, get plastered, and then go home? Is that what this is for? I just decided to grab a bowl of gyudon, cheese gyudon. I haven't had any of that since I was in Sendai, like almost a month ago now, so I was like, man, it's about time. I know it's being a little lazy, but this town is kind of dead at the moment. I don't have access to internet. I'm not gonna wander around and wait for a storm to show up and yada 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 yada. So I just got lazy, I ate something that looked delicious, and I really enjoyed it. Thing that was weird about this one, this is a standalone sukiya, which is like one of the cheese gyudon joint. And in Tokyo, they're all like, you know, built into buildings and stuff, because, you know, Tokyo. And this one has got a drive-through, which in my mind, it's like, you know, McDonald's or something. You don't think about like driving through and getting some gyudon, but I mean, I guess, why not? I really wish somebody would open a gyudon restaurant in America and like let it like flourish, because it would do amazing. Like if you drop this in a college town or something, priced it right, man, people would dig this stuff. It's amazing, guys. So when I was coming out, these people went by on they were leaving here on a motorcycle, and they stopped and they flagged me down. They were like, hello, 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 and like, do you speak Japanese? I was like, yeah, kind of. And they were like, oh, we saw you earlier, like hitchhiking into town. It's good you made it. They were surprised that I made it, I think. And I was like, yeah, I hitchhiked from Tokyo. And they were like, what? Which is a pretty common reaction once you get this far north, I think. Like, hitchhiked from Tokyo. Blows people's minds. But yeah, it was fun. They were fun. They were on a motorcycle and they were scooting out of here. And they were like, "Where are you gonna go tomorrow?" And I was like, "I don't know. I think the end of times is coming, like a storm." And they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna be stuck here as well." But anyway, so now you know all about them. If I knew their channel, I'd tell you to subscribe to it. So an indicator that you're pretty far north in Japan is when you're walking home and a drunken Russian man asks you if you're Russian in Russian. I was like, no. I don't know, like, I don't see that I give off a Russian vibe, but this happens to me a lot. Like, when we're in Vietnam, there's a lot of Russian tourists and a lot of Russian people would just come up to me and just start chatting with me. And I was just like, what? I don't know anything about what's happening right now. So I don't know, maybe it's the beard or something, or because I'm tall, or maybe it's just because I'm white and he's like, maybe a lot of the white people up here are Russian. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, he was drunk too, so just to be fair, maybe his Russian identification system was a little askew.
Do I have toothpicks on my face?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's messed up. Hey guys, if you've been enjoying these videos, definitely like or subscribe to our channel, and there's so many other ways that you can interact with us or just with this crazy project that we're doing. You can go to Facebook, you can go to Twitter, you can go to Instagram.
No, we don't have an Instagram.
We don't have an Instagram.
Not yet, but some people have almost convinced me to make one.
What's the other one?
Reddit.
Reddit?
Yeah.
Oh, there's another
one.
Reddit.
Is there another one?
Twitter?
Twitter. Yeah.
I don't think I said Twitter, okay? I know what we have, okay?
You ever watch other YouTubers and they're like all like really on the ball about this stuff?
This is like, one of us just goes, okay, am I gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? And then we just try our best not to mess it up. Also, if you want to get involved on a more involved scale, you can go over to Patreon and help us do more stuff.
Yeah, our Patreon
is
just
so sheepish.
Yeah, you're really sheepish. You should be more owlish.
Oh.
You gotta use...
Would you be brazen about it? Give me all money!
Patreon is just how we fund all the production of our videos and stuff, so if you want to help us out with that, that would be really cool.
And thanks to everybody on Patreon that's having good times with us.
Did you say the like button thing?
Yeah, like, subscribe, bell.
Yeah, the bell. Somebody just yelled at me about the bell. They're like, stop talking about the bell.
We're not supposed to talk.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody's mad about it. I don't know why. I just saw
Stop telling us to stop talking about the bell!
So this video was, you haven't seen it or anything, but it's the last push to the, that's really distracting. Oh, it smells really good. Oh my gosh.
It tastes really weird. Or it's like really different.
That's like bananas, man. Whoa.
It says foamy on it.
Yeah, it does. No, it's really good.
Weird.
This is my last push, like, to the most northern part of Japan in this hitchhiking series.
Wakkanai,
yeah. And I showed her this little clip of this video where I was just talking about, blathering on about something, and then there was a rainbow, and I showed the rainbow, and then the umbrella, like, broke, like, the wind, you know? It was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually stop and, like, I want to show you this video, like, specifically, but it was really cool when it happened, and it was really cool watching it again. There's something like magical about that little moment with the rainbow.
Rainbows, basically.
Yeah, and it was really windy, and it was just a crazy experience, this crazy day. So let's do a question. Sky has asked a question, and she is one of our Patreon supporters, and she has asked. My question is more for Katie than Eric, so this is on you, dude. But I'd still love to know both opinions. Oh, damn, I'm in too. If you didn't have to get married in the way that you did, how different would your wedding have been? Still as relaxed, bigger, or super fancy in Japan or the U.S.? How did your family feel about your quick nuptials? Just to fill people in really quick that don't know. If you search our channel if you search our channel for Katie and Eric Get Married, then you'll see the video where we got married. It's very basic, that's not a very extensive video or anything, but basically what ended up happening is that we got an opportunity to work in Japan really short notice. We had been engaged for over a year and we planned on getting married, but we ended up just getting married very quickly, like the next day, so that we would be able
I had told the people that gave me the job, they were like, so you're married? I was like, yeah. And then we got married.
Like the next
Yeah,
day.
we're married. Sure are.
And it was essentially, like, if you want to make a joke about it, you could say it was for visa purposes, but, I mean, we were going to get married anyway. The timing was for visa purposes, not the relationship. So, yeah, it's not like I'm a mail-order bride or anything like that.
You are a mail order bride. I might order you around a little bit.
Yeah, you do sometimes. So, when we did get married, we didn't have a ceremony or anything. We just went to one of our favorite restaurants with a bunch of family and friends.
Well, we did go to City Hall, or...
I went to City Hall with Will the next day. You weren't even there, were you?
Well, I went with you that day because we had to vow that we aren't cousins.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because we were in Virginia, and it's a possibility.
So we had to go and, like, get the paperwork, and then we took the paperwork with us to it wasn't a huge dinner with our friends, but a good number of people.
There was like 20 people there
Yeah.
or something like that.
And took it to the dinner, and we have a friend who's certified to be able to sign for, like, marriages and stuff, and he performs ceremonies, and he signed the paperwork, and then Eric and our friend Will took the paperwork. Looked like you guys getting married. And they took the paperwork. Maybe you guys are married.
It's possible.
And they turned in the paperwork the next day. So that's essentially how we got married, is just by signatures. The wedding outside of it was basically just going to dinner and having flaming cheese surrounded by your friends.
We had some Greek food.
We have a restaurant that we love in our hometown that is just amazing and delicious, and Greek food and real Greek people. They got attitude. I like it. But
So, how would it be different?
At first, I didn't realize that this spontaneous wedding was going to make me think about what I had actually wanted. Because as a child, I wasn't that girl that sat there daydreaming about her wedding.
Me either.
Although after we got engaged, I did start thinking about all this crazy stuff that I wanted to do. And I do think I built an image in my head, and then we got married very quickly, and it was very exciting. But once the excitement wore off, I kind of thought to myself, well, I didn't get any of those things I daydreamed about. And that was a very big conflict in my head of what I had envisioned and what actually happened. And that I shouldn't have envisioned anything. If I hadn't envisioned anything, the thing that we did was so unique and so different and so just, that's us. And I was telling Eric this whole time, like, oh, you know, I had wanted this and maybe we'll do it again. And that probably could have been mean. Honestly, like... I should have just valued the us that was that whole situation. So, if you'd asked me months after we got married, I'd have a different answer. But if you're asking me right now, I wouldn't have changed it. It was very us. It was very...
So, I mean, you said you had some images in your head of what you thought
There
it would
were
be.
hot air balloons involved. It was crazy. I don't know. I had some really... It was just hot air balloons, basically.
Oh, okay.
And it would have been really cool, like 2 hot air balloons. I don't know. It was really...
Extravagant.
It was...
Were there any ponies?
No, it was really
There was
like
probably
aerodynamic
ponies.
in the air. Well, there's always got to be ponies, but there weren't any ponies at our wedding. Were there any ponies?
In real, like, the actual wedding?
Yeah.
No, they were just Greek food.
Yeah, Greek food.
Do they eat pony in Greece? Maybe there was some pony we didn't know about.
And, so would I have changed anything at this point? No. I would have changed one thing, and I didn't have time. Like, we literally sent out the invitation for our wedding less than 24 hours. No.
And it was funny
It was
because...
like 16 hours. No.
Yeah.
How do you do more than a day?
Yeah,
it was like
16
30
or
hours
something, yeah.
before we got married. And I went to the mall, and I looked for a dress. I just, that's the only thing I wish I could change.
What did you
is
wear?
What I was wearing.
I don't even remember.
A shirt that
I
I
wore a
really
cupcake, didn't I?
hate, jeans, and a sweater.
I had flip-flops on, and...
You looked great.
I look like what I look every day.
You look like, exactly, you look great every day. But I wish I'd had a nice little pretty dress, and I didn't have that. And that's the only thing I want to change. Yeah.
It was fine with me. I like Greek food.
How did our families react?
How did our families react? My parents lived on the other side of the country at the time, so because we got married basically zero notice, they couldn't even come to the dinner or anything, which is kind of a bummer, I guess.
But when you have to talk about the engagement, you also have to talk about the getting married. because your parents' reaction to our engagement was
They were
pretty
really
awesome.
happy,
Like,
yeah.
his mom was ridiculous happy. Like, I think his mom just wants me in the family. I don't know.
And we got engaged in Singapore. There's a video about that as well. If you look
Yeah.
up Singapore, it's in that video of us getting
So
engaged.
she was really excited there. I think that they were kind of sad they couldn't come to the real wedding. So that's why I introduced the engagement part as well, because they were just enthusiastic. They're really happy about us. But for the wedding, I think that was kind of a bummer that they didn't get to be there. And sometimes I do daydream about doing a little ceremony where I get to wear a nice dress and his parents get to be there.
It does seem a little weird now, though, at this point. Like, now that we've been married for like 6 years or 7 years.
That is true, but I would still do it. I think it would be really nice for them to see that and to be a part of it. My parents came to the wedding. My dad's can't really read him. He's just like, I'm here. We're eating Greek food.
He seemed happy
You
enough.
signed some paperwork. My meal's very good.
He wasn't upset or anything. I mean,
No.
yeah.
It was just very relaxed.
Yeah.
Like, everything that happened in Fredericksburg with our friends and with our family
It was chill.
was very chill, and yeah, it wasn't like this big pumped up moment or anything like that.
So, yeah.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, it was a good question. Like, deep thought and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll try to put links into the description, like with links to the wedding and the engagement videos and stuff. If you're like, what are they talking about? And you want to get filled in a little bit about our personal lives, which isn't something we really cover all that much, but it's a little glimpse into things. Other things that are going on. There's probably gonna. I did a count when I was in the shower this morning. I think there's gonna be after this 4 more hitchhiking videos, and then the series will be finished. I think that's what it'll work out as, but I haven't looked at the footage yet. That's just kind of a guesstimation. And then I want to finish the hitchhiking series before I start rolling the Hong Kong footage. So the Hong Kong footage will get it'll be a little bit before that starts going. But after this video, I'm hoping the next video will be another Borneo video. So this is a lot of different things going on. And then, of course, we have more things we're going to shoot this summer.
Yeah.
Hopefully something later this month. We're going to find out.
Yep. Lots in store. See you later, guys.